Turning a compost pile is the worst job in the garden. Heaving a heavy, stinking heap over with a fork week after week just to get air into the middle. So stop doing it. You don't need a pile at all. There's a way to build deep, rich, perfect soil that involves no heap, no turning, and almost no work. You simply lay the ingredients flat on the ground and let the worms do every bit of the labor. Let me explain what's actually going on here, because once it clicks, you'll wonder why anyone builds piles in the first place. We've all been taught that composting means building a heap. You gather your greens and browns, pile them up in a corner, and then you have to turn that pile over and over, because the inside goes airless and sour without it. The turning is the whole reason compost is hard work. Without oxygen, the pile rots instead of composting, goes slimy, and stinks. So you spend the season heaving it over with a fork to keep air moving through it. That's the chore everybody hates, and it's the chore that makes people give up on composting entirely. But here's the thing nobody stops to question. The pile is the problem, not composting. The pile. Why does the material have to be in a heap at all? The only reason a pile needs turning is that it's deep, so the middle can't breathe. But if you take those exact same ingredients and spread them out flat, in thin layers right on top of your garden bed, every part of that material is close to the surface. Air gets in naturally. Nothing goes airless. Nothing goes sour. There's no anaerobic middle to fix because there is no middle. And so, there's nothing to turn. Ever. That's the whole secret. You let the composting happen lying down, spread flat across the bed, instead of standing up in a heap. The material breaks down in place, right where you want the finished soil to be. And the worms, which is the part that makes this genuinely lazy, come up from the soil below, pull that organic matter down into the ground, and turn it into rich, dark earth for you. They do the mixing. They do the turning. They do the work a gardener with a fork used to do, and they do it every single day, for free, underground, while you do nothing at all. This method goes by a few names: no-dig gardening, sheet composting, lasagna gardening, because you build it up in layers like a lasagna. They're all the same core idea. Instead of composting separately in a heap and then carrying the finished product to your beds, you compost directly on the bed, in flat layers, and let it become soil right there. If this sounds like the philosophy I've talked about before, it is. It's the same logic behind ditching the compost pile that I covered in my videos on trench composting, and why I stopped building heaps years ago. Let the soil and the worms do the composting for you, instead of doing it for them. If you want those, they're on the channel. This is that same idea taken to its laziest, most powerful conclusion. You don't even dig the scraps in. You just lay everything flat on top and let the garden build itself from the surface down. And the results genuinely beat a turned pile, which surprises people. A traditional pile gives you a batch of finished compost you then have to spread. This method builds living, structured soil in place, soil full of worms, fungal networks, and the kind of crumbly, dark texture that takes years to develop and that no bag of compost can fully replicate. You're not just making compost, you're building an entire living soil system, layer by layer, on top of the ground. So let me show you exactly why not digging builds better soil than digging ever could, and then exactly how to layer a bed so it turns into perfect earth while you sit back and watch. Let's start with why not digging is better than digging, because this is the part that goes against everything most of us were taught. We were all told you have to dig your soil, turn it over, break it up, work it before you plant. It feels productive, it feels like good gardening, and it's quietly damaging your soil every time you do it. Here's what's actually happening underground in healthy soil. It's not just dirt. It's a living structure. There are channels and pores that hold air and water, built by worms and roots over time. There are networks of beneficial fungi, called mycorrhizae, that wrap around plant roots and extend their reach, feeding your plants in exchange for sugars. There's a whole layered ecosystem of microbes, each living at the depth that suits it. That structure is what makes soil rich and alive. Now take a fork or a tiller to it. You shatter those air channels. You rip apart the fungal networks that took a season to build. You flip the microbe layers upside down, burying the ones that need air and lifting the ones that don't. And you drag buried weed seeds up to the surface where the light wakes them. Which is why freshly dug beds always explode with weeds a couple of weeks later. I covered exactly why that light trigger sets off weed seeds in my video on no weed mulching. It's on the channel if you want it. Digging doesn't build soil. It tears down the living structure that was already building itself. No dig does the opposite. You leave that underground structure completely intact and feed it from the top. The worms do the digging, and they're far better at it than you are. They pull organic matter down, leave their castings behind, and create the exact air channels and crumbly texture you were trying to make with a fork, except they never stop and never damage anything. Your only job is to keep laying food on the surface for them. Less work, better soil. That's the whole trade. So now let's build a bed. This is the layering part, and it's genuinely as simple as stacking things flat. Start with the bottom layer. Cardboard, or several sheets of newspaper, laid directly on top of whatever's there now. Grass, weeds, bare soil, doesn't matter. Overlap the pieces so there are no gaps, and wet it down thoroughly. This layer smothers the weeds and grass underneath by blocking their light, and it breaks down over a few months as the worms eat it. One important note: pull off any tape, staples, and glossy printed labels first, and skip the shiny coated cardboard. Plain brown cardboard is what you want. On top of the cardboard, you alternate two kinds of material. The same greens and browns from regular composting, just laid flat instead of heaped. Browns are your carbon. Dry leaves, straw, shredded paper, dry plant stalks. Lay down a layer of those. Greens are your nitrogen. Kitchen scraps, fresh grass clippings, pulled weeds, and, brilliantly, the leftover sludge from a nettle brew if you've made one. I covered nettle feed in another video, and the spent plant material is perfect here. Lay a layer of greens over the browns, then keep alternating. A layer of brown, a layer of green, brown, green, building it up like a lasagna. You don't need to measure ratios precisely the way you would for a hot pile. Roughly more brown than green by volume is a good rule, and if it ever smells, you just add more brown on top. Because it's flat and breathing, it forgives mistakes a heap never would. Top the whole thing off with a finishing layer of compost, or well-rotted manure if you have it, and then a layer of mulch, straw, leaves, wood chips to cap it. Hold in moisture and keep weeds down. That top mulch layer is doing the same job I covered in the straw mulching video, blocking light, holding moisture, and feeding the soil as it breaks down. And that's the bed built. Cardboard on the bottom, alternating layers of brown and green, compost and mulch on top. You laid it all flat, you never dug a thing, and you never built a pile. Now the worms and microbes take over, and over the coming weeks and months, all of that becomes deep, rich, living soil, right where you're going to plant. The question most people have at this point is the obvious one. How long until I can actually grow in it? And what do I have to do while I wait? The answer is the laziest part of the whole system, and there's one mistake to avoid that can set you back a season. Here's the laziest part of the whole system. Once the bed is built, your maintenance is almost nothing. You don't dig it. You don't turn it. You don't rebuild it. Each season, you simply add a fresh layer of compost or mulch on top, an inch or two, and that's it. The worms keep pulling it down. The soil keeps getting deeper and richer, and every year the bed performs better than the last, while you do less, not more. Compare that to a dug bed, which you have to break up and amend every single season just to keep it workable. No-dig beds go the other direction. They improve on their own. The longer you leave them alone, the better they get. Now, how long until you can grow in it? Let me be honest about that word, perfect, in the title, because soil doesn't become perfect overnight. The full transformation, where those layers have broken down into deep, dark, crumbly earth all the way through, takes a few months to a full season. The ideal move is to build your bed in autumn, lay all those layers down going into winter, and let the worms work through the cold months. By spring, you're planting into rich soil that built itself while you weren't even out there. But here's the trick if you don't want to wait. You can plant immediately. Because you finished the bed with a layer of compost on top, you just plant your seedlings directly into that top compost layer. Their roots grow in the finished compost, while the layers underneath continue breaking down beneath them, feeding the plants as they go. So you get a harvest this season and a fully built soil by next season from the same bed, with no waiting required. Most no-dig gardeners plant the same day they build. Now the one mistake to avoid, because it's the thing that can actually set you back. Don't pile on a thick layer of pure brown, carbon-rich material, heavy dry leaves, loads of wood chips, thick cardboard, right where shallow-rooted seedlings are going to sit, without enough green mixed in. When all that carbon starts breaking down, the microbes doing the work pull nitrogen from the surrounding zone to fuel themselves, and for a few weeks, that area can go nitrogen poor. It's the same temporary nitrogen tie-up I explained in the trench composting and buried scraps videos. Harmless to established plants, but it can stall tender young ones. The fix is simple. Keep your greens and browns balanced, and always plant into that finished compost top layer, not directly into raw browns. Do that, and the tie-up never touches your plants. Step back and look at what you've actually done here. You took a patch of ground, even weedy grass, laid cardboard over it, stacked organic material flat on top in alternating layers, capped it with compost and mulch, and walked away. No pile, no turning, no digging, no fork, no tiller, no aching back. And out of that, over a season, comes some of the richest, most alive soil you'll ever grow in. Built by worms, from materials you mostly had lying around for free. It's not just less work than a compost pile. It's less work than almost anything else in the garden, and it produces better soil than the hard way ever did. That's the real lesson, and it runs through everything on this channel. The best results in the garden rarely come from working harder. They come from setting things up so nature does the work for you, and then getting out of the way. A compost pile asks you to do the worm's job with a fork. No dig hands the job back to the worms, where it belonged all along. You feed the surface, they build the soil. Everybody's happy, and your back stays intact. So this season, pick one bed, even a patch of scrubby lawn, and build it the lazy way. Lay the cardboard, stack your layers, cap it with compost, and let it become the best soil in your garden while you do absolutely nothing. Now I want to hear from you on this one. Before you go, tell me down in the comments what you'd build your first no-dig bed with. What browns and greens have you got lying around right now? Dry leaves, grass clippings, kitchen scraps, an old cardboard box? Drop it below, because half the fun is seeing what everyone's working with, and you'll give other people ideas for what they can use too. And if you're going to try the lazy way this season, type GROW in the comments so I know to keep the no-dig videos coming. And tap that like button to help another tired gardener find out they never needed to turn that pile in the first place. Lay it flat, feed the worms, let the soil build itself. I'll see you in the next one.